In this video, we will continue the process of unpacking the MYP unit planner. After the statement of inquiry has been finalized, you will move on to consider the inquiry questions that will help students inquire into the concepts, context, and the statement as a whole. There are 3 types of inquiry questions, and at least one question needs to be developed in each question category: factual, conceptual, debatable. Let's dig deeper into the characteristics of a unit's inquiry questions. All inquiry questions identified in this section of the unit plan should include at least one of the unit's concepts and/or the global context exploration, be transferable beyond the content of the unit, be open-ended, and allow for expanded exploration during the learning process. Now let's look at the characteristics of each question type. First, we'll consider factual questions. These questions encourage recall and comprehension. They lead to answers that are supported by evidence. Most often, factual questions begin with "what?" These questions might be used to explore the meaning of the concepts, context, or other terminology used in the statement of inquiry. As an example, we'll use the ideas for a design unit developed in previous videos. One possible factual question drawn from this statement of inquiry might be, what is innovation? Next, let's look at conceptual questions. They do not lead students to a particular viewpoint or answer. They encourage analysis and application. They could begin with how or why. These questions refer to at least one of the concepts included in the statement of inquiry and possibly the global context exploration. Again, using the example from design, a possible conceptual question drawn from the statement of inquiry might be, how are innovative ideas developed? Finally, let's look at debatable questions. These questions may be directly tied to the summative task or tasks. They encourage synthesis and evaluation. They require students to take a position and/or engage in discussion or debate. They may begin with could or to what extent. These questions refer to at least one of the concepts included in the statement of inquiry and possibly the global context exploration. Continuing with the example from design, a possible debatable question drawn from the statement of inquiry might be, to what extent do products and solutions need to be innovative to be successful? Remember that while you are required to have a minimum of at least one inquiry question for each category, you can also include more than one question in any category. Just make sure that each question is critical to understanding the statement of inquiry and can be fully explored during the time frame of the unit. When you have developed the inquiry questions for this section of the unit planner, it is always a good idea to step back and look at the questions in terms of the whole unit. Some considerations. Are the questions broad enough to explore the concepts and context in the statement of inquiry? What will be the teaching order of these questions? Can all students access these questions? Are they developmentally appropriate for the age and background of your students? Will they engage your students in further inquiry? And finally, if you are wondering where your content-specific questions fit, let's take a quick look at that now. The unit's inquiry questions drive and scaffold the unit's learning engagements. Content-specific questions can also be developed by both teachers and students and used as prompts to further explore each inquiry question during the learning and teaching process. Here's an example. An inquiry question can be posed and discussed. Then content-specific questions can be used to frame content-based learning engagements. Through this sequence, students are able to explore a significant idea and also experience how that idea applies to specific aspects of the unit content. In the next video, we will consider how the unit's subject group objectives and the details of the summative task should be identified in the unit plan.